welcome back to the program. What's next? Brought to you by Live Well Therapeutic Massage right here in Monterey, California, right on the beach. Come across some amazing people here doing massages right here in Monterey, and today is no exception. We've got Miss Mandy Carswell.
Hello.
And Miss Kristen from, what would you call it, Roller Derby Club?
It's Monterey Bay Roller Derby.
Oh, right on.
Yes.
So you do it right here in Monterey?
Yes. Yeah.
Cool. You do like away games and you have your home place, or
Yeah.
how does that work?
Yeah.
Yes. So we practice at the Monterey Fairgrounds.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Right. Sure.
So if you ever go in there for anything and look on the ground and see blue tape, that's our blue tape.
Wow.
Yeah. And then we used to bout at Water City and Marina.
Okay.
But it's currently closed.
Closed.
To be decided what the city does with that.
Oh, one of those things.
Yes.
They're filling out pickleball courts.
Oh.
So we'll see what they come up with. But yeah, so that's where we used to. So we're traveling.
Cool.
Yeah, away games is pretty much it at this point.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
So when I think about roller derby, I think of a round track.
You're not wrong.
Yeah. So I don't know of anything like that in the fairgrounds.
So
Do they build your own, or?
we don't skate on the banked track like it used to be.
Okay.
So we now have a flat track.
Okay.
So because banked tracks are a lot of work, they
Sure.
take a lot of space,
Right.
they're very expensive. So several years ago, 10, 15 years ago, there was kind of the revival of roller derby,
Oh, cool.
and they switched it to a flat track. So we just need a flat space and tape, basically.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Like oval or round track or
It's an
something
oval
like that.
track.
Yes.
Right.
So it's
right.
let's see how well I remember our sizing. I think it's about 100 feet by 80 feet.
Okay,
We'll call it.
yeah.
So it
not
can
huge.
fit onto like a basketball court.
Yeah.
It can or cannot.
It can.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we can squeeze it on there. It's not
Sure.
the perfect fit,
Right.
but we can make it work.
And you're using the old school round 4 wheels instead of the inline skates.
Correct. Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
A lot of us take it personal too. So if you say we're roller skating versus or roller blading, we're like, it's not roller blading.
Right,
It's roller
right.
skating.
Yeah. There was like, I know the hockey players play with the roller, the inline skates,
Yes.
I guess, when they're, summertime.
Yeah.
That kind of thing's nice to probably get a little more action out there if you had those rollerblades.
Do we need more action?
Probably not. No.
Right?
Right.
It's a different. So I've never actually inlined.
Okay.
So I did ice skate.
Oh, right.
And I feel
Sure.
like that would be more similar to an inline. And I feel
Yeah.
like there's not as much edge and stopping power.
Yeah.
So it would be a very different, I feel like it'd be a lot faster,
Yeah, that was true.
which
Right.
as a blocker, I wouldn't really want.
Oh my
Good
gosh,
point,
no,
huh?
imagine.
Coming at you a little faster.
I don't want that. I want to stop people.
Right.
But yeah.
So how'd the COVID affect you guys? Did you have to shut down for a while? Or
Yes.
that kind of really screwed everything up, huh?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
We were closed down for March of 2020 up until last year.
June of 2021.
Yeah, June of 2021, we started to do some practice, but we weren't on skates at that point because, it's been over a year. People are not really skating. So we had to basically rebuild not only our strength and our stamina and endurance, but the team, because a lot of people, their lives had changed and shifted. People
Moved away and
had babies,
Yeah,
so
right.
people welcomed on new members of their families. And at that point we really had to look at our team, and it was small. I think we had maybe 8 to 10 players.
Really?
It's pretty tiny.
Yeah.
So we started rebuilding basically from the ground up, it felt like. So
Right.
Yeah.
The girl next door, she
Yes.
skates with you a little bit. I know she just had a baby.
yes.
Yes.
One of those when you're talking about.
She's
Yes.
the one that went and had a baby.
Yeah, right. Yeah. So,
Yeah. We had a full tournament scheduled in March of 2020. It was supposed to be March. I think it was going to start on the 17th of 2020.
oh, cool.
And we had people coming in from Canada, from Alaska,
What?
from Hawaii, all throughout
So cool.
California. And we had to cancel.
Oh.
I think we canceled or chose to cancel about a week prior.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And then that Friday, after we decided we were going to cancel, is when shelter in place happened. So we were glad we made the decision so that those people from Canada didn't get here and
You get
Or
stuck
Alaska.
here.
Yeah.
They're stuck here, wouldn't they?
be
Oh,
stuck,
for
can't
a
go
minute.
home.
Yeah.
You're on the team. Sorry.
Yeah, exactly.
Can't go home.
You live here now.
But yeah, so that was the start of our COVID adventure.
Yeah, perfect.
Yeah, exactly.
Ah.
And then slowly we're getting back,
Yeah.
trying to still be careful, which is tough with a, full contact
Sure.
sport.
Right.
So we just
Yeah.
try to do our best. And so far, we've been pretty good.
We've been pretty
So,
good. Yeah.
Keeping the team together.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
And-
It's
Tough.
when you're like, it's a pretty tight knit community. So
Sure.
like once you're in it, I feel like you feel drawn back to everybody. So even if some people left, you do see people kind of trickling back in. You just kind of miss it.
Right.
And as people start to skate more, so there's more of these like away games, or even just scrimmaging in general, people are like, oh, I really miss that. I really miss that full body slam against my
Right.
friends.
Just a social event of it, too.
Absolutely.
Everybody's been so
Yeah.
stuck inside and not being able to do anything.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. And we we have skating, obviously, there's skaters, but we also have non skating officials. So we have lots of people who are very integral to being able to play
Oh, right.
that are off skates.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, they get to come hang out and we,
Yeah.
need them as well. So it's not just skaters. And then we have on skates officials. So we have everybody can come hang out.
That's
and it's
perfect.
great.
Right.
So even if you can't skate, you can still play derby.
Yeah.
So
Who got this fired up again? This is like roller derby queens from the 70s.
Oh my gosh.
Who brought this back? That's amazing.
Our league has actually, in 2020, we were turning 10.
Okay.
So that means we're 12.
We're 12 years old.
So I'm like, I have to kind of count from there. So yeah, we've been around in Monterey for 12 years.
Wow.
So yeah.
Got some time in.
I wasn't here, but there was the old skating rink there's now a Starbucks.
Oh, of course.
Right on Del Monte. Yeah.
It was across from NPS. It was a cool, like old school roller rink.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, like wood floors. So that's where they actually started up and then had fairgrounds and Water City as well at that time.
Wow.
Yeah.
So you served on the board a little bit, huh?
I did. What? 4 or 5 years?
I was going to say it was like 5 years of
Wow.
the director of training.
Yeah, I was president for a year and then I did director of training for
Oh, wow.
4.
Yeah, perfect.
And Stevie's now our secretary.
Yes. And I still go to Wrath with like, or Mandy with like every other question I have. I'm like, can you answer this for me?
Can try.
So you guys have roller derby names.
Oh
Yes.
yeah. I'm Stevie Hits.
Like Stevie Nicks right on.
Yes. Oh yes.
Exactly. And I'm Mad McWrath. So I go by Wrath.
Right?
It's a play off of my maiden name.
Sure.
So yeah.
And if you call us our
Human
government
names.
names, our human names, if you call us that at practice,
Very awkward.
it's very insulting. How dare you?
It's a little awkward.
Uh-huh.
Little
Comes
awkward.
the wrath.
Yes. Yeah, even outside of it, like if we see each other in, party situations or just like social gatherings, we don't call each other by our real names.
Really?
It is straight up the roller derby name.
funny.
Yes.
Half the time we don't know people's real names.
Oh,
So like I ran
I
into
see.
somebody and they were like, "Oh, do you know so and so?" And I'm like, "No."
Oh, that's funny.
No idea.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, and then I'll be like, "Do you happen to know their roller derby name?" And they're like, "Why would I know that?"
How would I know this?
I'm like, "I don't know their real name, so I
Yeah.
can't help you." And then they'll be like, "Oh, they've got like brownish colored hair and a lot of tattoos." And I'm like,
Oh, that's half
That
the
narrows
team.
it down to all of
Right.
them.
I'm like that's half the team. You got to
Exactly.
try harder. Like, I got nothing for you.
Yeah.
I had one of our older teammates. She's since not skating with us.
Yeah.
She actually worked with my brother-in-law, and she was like, "Yeah, it took us a month to figure out because
Who is who?
she didn't know my real name.
Right.
She's like, I've known you for 4 years, no idea what your real name is." I'm like,
Just know your face.
yeah,
Yeah.
like it's a thing.
So what do you do in real life? other jobs and kids
always
and
no children.
No?
Dogs. No
Lots of
children.
dogs.
Yeah.
Right.
I work for a direct mail marketing company.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
I'm the director of operations, was the director of technology. So
Right.
yeah, I have a degree in marine bio.
Oh, wow. All kinds of stuff.
Was a dog trainer for
Were ya?
several years.
Nice.
Yeah, lots of things.
All kinds of cool stuff. What do you got going?
Well, I don't have any children either. I have lots
No?
of dogs.
You have
Keep
dogs.
accumulating them. I don't know what's happening.
They keep showing up at the door. I don't know.
And bleeding heart, like, please stay here. I used to work for the SPCA, so that kind of makes some sense. But now I work for, right, like all these animals, I love them. But now I work for the courthouse. So I work in Monterey at the court.
Oh, okay.
Do lots of fun filings there for people.
Sure,
So
right.
you imagine at the end of the day when you've been dealing with just the chaos of like what our court system is, I'm just like, all right, I'm ready to go and see my friends, and then I'm going to hit my body against yours.
Gotta be all nice all day long.
Oh my gosh.
Build up all the tension.
Exactly. Imagine you're like, oh, I'm so angry. Now's the time.
I'm good.
Yeah.
Right.
Feel so much better.
Yeah.
Well, and not only are you like getting some of that like minor aggressions out on
Sure.
like, there's the endurance aspect of it. You're not just hitting people, but at the same time, the social, like I'm talking to people
Right.
and
It's
I'm
good
seeing
workout too.
Exactly. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
What did they say it was? It was like every practice it's like 1,500 calories that you, I don't know. It really just depends on the person.
No kidding.
If you're like
Yeah, how
actually
much put into it.
skating and like
Right.
sweating.
If you're challenging yourself,
Yeah.
you're just kind of like, yeah, I'm just going to roll around today.
And that
No
happens
points for leaning.
too.
Yeah, exactly. Sometimes it's 200 calories, sometimes it's 1,500.
Right.
Yeah. I know 1,500 felt like a high number.
That seems
but I
like a
was
high number. But I mean, it is a 2-hour practice.
It is.
So,
Is it really? Wow.
Yeah.
That's a long time.
Yeah, sometimes it's it's a 2-hour practice, and then sometimes we'll have back to back, and you can stay for 4 hours
Oh,
if you
wow.
want. So
Like once a week or a couple times a week?
a couple times a week.
Yeah,
So we
okay.
practice Tuesday, Thursdays.
Well, you really stay in shape.
We try.
Yeah, buddy.
Some of us better than others.
Yeah, right.
It does help if you do some like cross training, but there's also like you can do the first 2 hours, which is just standard training. And then if you want to hang out and like help the boot campers, which you're not doing like a ton of skating, you're like helping people who are just now barely learning how to get on wheels and skate around and stuff. So
Sure.
we do offer that.
Yeah.
You can't expect people to just be like, hey, I'm interested in derby. Like, great, let's throw you out in the track. You're ready.
Yeah.
So we do boot camp. We stopped it. We just finished, actually. We had a bunch of graduates from boot camp onto like our rookies team. But we usually do like a 4-week program of boot camp. So people are able to come and just learn like the basics. And then by the end of it, we're like, now you're ready.
Exactly.
8 weeks in.
Did you know how to skate when you started?
No, what's funny is I bought skates thinking like, I know how to do a roller rink. Like I've been skating before, bought some skates, fell like 16 times, was like, forget this. Saw that there was going to be a boot camp. And when after that was like, wow, it took off.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Now I feel like, I can skate on anything. Put me on some dirt,
Sure, right.
I'll figure it out.
I got
some
this.
off-roading. Yeah. I got this.
Get some knobby tires on there. We're good to go.
That would be so cool.
Let's try it out.
Yeah.
Go try the beach. I don't know.
Oh my gosh, imagine.
No, I'm good. I'm good.
We had
That's
roller skating parties when I was a kid, in the 70s. And,
Oh, cool.
so like the middle school or whatever, everybody would go to the, roller skating. And they'd have races and they'd have, find a girl or all the girls on one side, all the guys find somebody to
that's
skate
right.
with, to skate around in a circle. And yeah, it was kind of neat. Sometimes we do ice skating parties, I guess. But that's in Michigan. You don't have a whole lot of ice skating rinks here.
No.
Yeah.
Darn it.
I mean, we have some indoor ones, I think.
That's the only way you can do
That's the
it.
only way you can do it here.
Well,
Yeah.
Custom House Plaza will sometimes have one in the winter
Oh, right.
outside.
Oh, how cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't really, it gets a little wet, but
Yeah.
it's fun.
Must have some coolers underneath it
Yeah.
or something.
I did try that one year.
I did
Did ya?
too.
My roller skating skills mildly transferred.
Yeah,
Did they? Yeah, right.
Not very
Not
well.
totally. You still got to have a little ankle strength.
I looked like a little Bambi on skates out there.
It's embarrassing because you feel so strong when you're on your four wheels.
Yeah.
You're like, you're out there playing against other people and you're so sturdy. And then the minute you get on like ice skates, you're like, what is happening to me?
I did wear my knee pads.
I didn't when I did it.
I did.
A mistake was made in my instance.
Whoops.
If you hit that, the ice is different than hitting concrete too. You hit ice, it's cold and it's hard and it hurts. But
yeah. No, I wore my knee pads. I was like, I don't care.
And elbow pads too.
I think
Can
I
really
may
come
have
down.
actually had my elbows on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
It's just a natural instinct to put that elbow down. It's the worst thing you can do.
Oh yeah.
Oh, imagine.
Yeah.
Better than banging your head, I guess. but,
Exactly.
Like,
Exactly.
oh.
Save the head at all costs.
And all out gear, you're on the skating rink on a romantic skate in the middle of winter. Helmet, elbow pads, wrist guards, knee pads. You're like, wow, who is she?
That's my girl. Like
She's
a Michelin
safe.
man.
She's safe, and that's all that matters.
Because we do learn how to fall in
Sure,
derby.
right.
Right.
And we learn to fall on your knees because you have knee pads on, elbows and
Sure.
wrists and all of that on. So I was like, yeah, I'm not doing that. I'm not going to go ice skating. I'm going to fall. I know I'm going to fall. I haven't done this.
Right.
So yeah,
Did you fall?
absolutely. I fell.
Of course. That ice is slippery.
Yeah, it is. I was
Like, where'd my feet go?
Yeah, yeah.
Where's my butt?
Yeah. I mean, I generally wear all of my gear when I go on a trail skate as well. So, I mean, so I didn't know how to skate when I started either. I couldn't stand up. It was horrible.
Yeah.
But, it's fine now. But I also was bouting before I got the courage to go trail skating.
Oh, so you were doing full on skating with other people against other people, other teams.
Yeah.
And then you hadn't gone on a trail skate?
I had done trail skate one other time and was like, this is miserable.
What's a trail ski?
So the rec trail here,
Oh, okay.
you can skate
Oh,
for
okay. I see.
all the way to Lover's Point.
No kidding.
So we have a gorgeous view on that rec trail, on our beautiful Monterey Bay rec trail.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Right.
It's fantastic, and it runs the entire. So we'll actually park, half a block from here,
Yeah.
and then skate all the way to Lover's Point and back. So it's about 5-7 miles, something like that.
By the time you get back, right?
Yeah, and it's a wonderful skate, but there's a lot of intersections.
Yeah.
And
A lot of traffic.
a lot of traffic.
Lot of
and-
Travelers
people.
and their little 4-wheel bikes.
Lots of strollers and
Which side do you want? Which side do
Right,
you want?
right. So it gets a little precarious in some
Sure, right,
places.
right.
oh yeah.
But I just remember the bumpy sections at all of the intersections because they're all ADA compliant.
Oh, yeah.
So they've
yeah.
got all those big
Yeah,
bumps, and you're
sure.
just this is when I'm going to fall
Yeah.
as I go into the road, and then somebody's going to run me over.
I'd be so embarrassed.
Right?
Oh,
I'm
God.
Tire tracks across my back.
so it took me a while. I was getting hit out there playing derby, and somebody was like, no, seriously, you can trail skate. You'll be fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I finally went out and did it again. And I was like, oh yeah, no, this is fine.
Yeah.
And it feels good too. It's so relaxing.
Yeah.
It is.
I've fallen on that rec trail before.
Oh, multiple times.
Yeah.
It does hurt your
Pride.
right.
That's the right word.
You're so deeply embarrassed. You're people look at you, you're like, are you okay? And you're like, I play roller derby. This is nothing. And then you crawl away on the floor, look away.
Wipe off your blood. Yeah, I'm good.
I'm fine. I had my gear on. We're good. We're good.
It's just a flesh wound.
Mere flesh wound. I remember when I was a kid, we lived in Chicago for a while, and we would on a Saturday morning we'll go out and shovel a hockey rink out on the lake, and everybody on the neighborhood would go out there and play hockey. And, I don't know, global warming. I don't know if it gets that thick anymore, but
Things have
that was
changed.
a lot of fun. We had a whole rack full of ice skates, and just choose the ones that fit you that year.
That year.
Oh, yeah.
That year.
Hope for the best.
Right? My dad would be out there guarding the goal with a broom or something, just great, great neighborhood.
Oh, that's
backyard
fun.
Yeah.
Yeah. I grew up in Pennsylvania,
Did
and
ya?
we had a big hill we would go up. And there, they did every year have a pond up there that once it froze over, we could go ice skating.
Yeah,
it was also where
perfect.
we would cut down our Christmas trees.
Sure.
Same place.
Yeah.
And it was super fun.
Of course.
I think I only did it maybe once or twice.
Sure.
Well, yeah, probably more than that. But
Yeah.
yeah. But I was
Good
always
times.
super careful because I was
Right.
into sports and didn't want to get injured.
Oh, I see. Right. I thought you meant because of the ice.
Nah.
It does get a little thin in some spots. Scared
would
the
be my
crap out of
fear.
myself before coming
Yes.
close to the shore. Crack.
And you're
Whoa.
Yep.
Lay flat. It's fine.
Crawl.
It'll be fun. It'll be fun.
Yeah, no, as a native Californian, I would never. I'd be like, that's a pond? Excuse me? I have no trust.
No trust.
I will not be getting onto that.
Well, we used to literally drive cars out there on the lake. So it's not,
So if the car doesn't fall through,
yeah.
I think you'd feel fine.
They would park an old car right out in the middle of the lake. And everybody that lived on the lake would hold a raffle on what day it would fall through.
Oh my
You know,
gosh.
that was a long time ago. EPA wouldn't let you do that anymore.
No.
But,
No.
it's good fun.
I was gonna
Did you
say,
ever
you'd probably be
win?
mad.
I was pretty young when we lived there, but I don't remember my parents ever winning.
Okay.
Coming home from school and it's still kind of hanging a little bit. Oh, maybe tomorrow.
Maybe tomorrow.
Yeah.
I'm thinking about my car,
Yeah.
If you lost a car, how mad would you be?
It was an old beater that they
I was like,
had.
somebody volunteers
Yeah,
their
right.
car.
An
They're
old
like,
Buick
I'll
that-
take mine. They want to get rid of it, but
Volunteer for tribute.
I wondered if they ever hauled that thing out of there and did it again with the same car, or is there just like a pile of cars down there?
I know it.
I wonder if like you could tell on Google View or something.
Right. That's right there.
Maybe. I guess it depends on how deep it was where you
Yeah.
were putting the car.
Right. So how do we get tickets? How do we get a hold of tickets and
And
when is it season? Is it a season or is it run all year?
Right? Do we have an actual
we
season?
go all year.
Yeah.
Do you?
Even like when we had a home place, we would still just go all year.
Okay.
Yeah, we just like to play, so you can't
Sure.
you can't get us to stop. I think is
Yeah.
what happens.
Right.
And you have our breaks. We have like a winter break, like, for the holidays.
Sure.
And then we do take a mild break during July because everybody goes to RollerCon, which is infamously the roller derby con. So
Yes.
in Las Vegas.
Didn't know there was such a thing.
Oh yes, and it is well loved.
Well loved.
So that sport is really coming back, huh?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
I had no idea.
So there's our like governing body.
Uh-huh.
It's called the Women's Flat Track Derby Association, so
Oh, I see.
WFTDA. And there's well over 300 teams. I haven't looked up how many across the world. So,
kidding.
Yeah. So usually there is a championship season. So everybody's ranked based on who they play, what, how
Right.
well they play, the point spread, all that stuff. Yeah. And they have like a world or the cups. I forget what they called them, but they're like the regional cups and then the playoffs and then the championship. So
Wow.
yeah.
And that's mostly in Vegas?
No. So RollerCon is just kind of
That's there.
the fun.
Oh, okay, right.
That's
right.
everybody shows up. We get to play ridiculous bouts with ridiculous themes. But the playoffs and the championships are the big thing.
Yeah.
And that's usually in November.
Right.
So they're prepping for that all year. And then in November is usually the big thing. But yeah.
You got all your team colors and all that.
Yes, we are red and black.
Nice.
Yes, with a little bit of white, but
We've got white because
Yes.
you got to have 3 colors.
Oh, of course.
Right.
Red,
Right.
black, white.
Highlight.
Yeah,
exactly,
exactly.
exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
But as far as bouting goes, we're still trying to find like a place to call home.
Yeah.
After losing Water City, because that was really where we were scrimmaging and that's where we were holding home bouts. So if people wanted to come and watch us play a full bout where people were coming from away teams and playing here at home in Monterey, that was where we were bouting. But after the pandemic, they closed Marina Water City down and now we don't really have a place to play. So we're doing a lot of away bouts
Oh, okay.
as of right
Sure.
now.
Right.
Mm-hmm. And we're trying to find a place.
Yes.
So
We'd love a home.
we've
That's why we're here. Find you a home.
Yes.
we always put it out. We're like, if anybody happens to
Yeah. If
know,
you,
like,
Does anybody happen to own a roller skating rink?
right,
No?
or just a
Sure.
flat piece of land. We don't care.
Yeah.
we're not picky.
Exactly. We'll bring
really
our
not.
own sport court. We'll bring our own, we'll rent it. We'll pay you, please.
Right.
We'll pay you.
Yes.
But yeah, but we're still pretty active on like the social media. So we're on Instagram.
Okay.
We're on Facebook, all of those things. I think they're just under
RD.
MBRD or MB Roller Derby.
Yeah.
I think is what the names are.
Oh, okay. And that's where they'd go to find tickets?
Yeah,
or
tickets and
all the
info.
information,
If they
who's
wanted to join
playing.
boot camp and hang out
Oh,
with
right
us.
on.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like they're like, hey, I want to be a part of it, but
Yeah.
boot camp isn't quite starting. How can I still? It's like, come
Yeah.
NSO, come hang out. It's cool. We have things that you can do.
Yeah.
So
Many people are so stuck and bored right now, and they're just
Yeah.
going through a big change in their life one way or
Yeah.
another, and just stuck. They need something. So
and a lot of people learned how to skate during the pandemic. Right?
hey, there you go.
So
Sure.
they were out of skates at all of the stores and
Yeah.
stuff for quite a while.
Yeah.
So I know there's people out there who have learned how to skate.
Sure.
So we had quite a few come into boot camp, knew how to skate.
Have you really?
Yeah.
Good.
We just moved them right along.
Yeah. Right. on.
Oh, yeah.
We'll teach you how to fall now because most people don't teach themselves how to fall. They're like, no, I want to stay upright.
Yeah.
It's like, well, you're going to fall.
You're gonna fall.
You'd be surprised.
You're going to fall. If you fall, you've tried something.
Yeah.
So
Right.
you're good.
So
But
who's your main teams that you go up against?
Wow.
Do you have like a circle of 5 or 6 of them?
we
or-
we try to mix it up. Some of it, honestly, is where do we want to go?
Yeah.
So, we've gone up to Humboldt to play.
Oh,
That
cool.
one was really fun. We've gone down to San Diego, Ventura.
Oh, that's a ways.
Yeah.
fun.
We were looking at Hawaii because why not?
Yeah. Why
right?
not?
I think at one point we were looking at Idaho because
Why not?
Why not?
Yes.
But there's a lot of there's a team in Santa Cruz.
Oh, okay. Good.
There's one that we play in Redwood City. So Peninsula Roller Derby is up there, and we play them quite a bit.
Yeah.
Right.
We kind of call them like our sister league.
Yeah, I
They're-
figured you knew them all. and-
Yeah, they're that one. They're very similar to us in style and ranking, and so it fits. It's a good fit.
Right.
But yeah,
We just recently had a bout too in Vallejo. So we are doing more bouting, but a lot of it is going to be away for now. But I think we have your Wrath is really the one who's in charge of like all of like what bouts are coming up. So there is some rumors that we might be playing in. Where are we going?
she's like where? We're looking at Ventura later
Yes.
in the year.
Okay. Yeah.
So that's one of our upcoming. Because when we need to travel a bit, we try to spread it out a little bit, just
Yeah.
because we know it can be a little rough to take a full weekend off or whatnot. So we try to.
Ventura is the place to go to.
And we've played there,
love it
and they're
there.
great. And it's an outdoor bout.
Oh, how
So it's an
cool.
outdoor rink, and it's a really cool spot.
Yeah.
So and it's nice. So
Perfectly warm.
Right.
It's not going to be too cold like here.
yeah, exactly,
Yeah.
exactly.
How exciting.
Yeah.
And then like we're hoping to do a couple more like closer by,
Yeah.
but it just depends on who's available to have
Yeah.
us and if we have really the players for it. So plus we need to practice, and that's a big thing for us. It's like
Yeah.
we're kind of at the mercy of the fairgrounds, and during the summertime, obviously they're very busy because they have things like the fair and Cali Roots. So, they have a lot going on. So we tend to lose that space because that's being used for other things going on. So we'll probably try to do some we're having a break right now because of Cali Roots coming up. We'll probably try to do a little bit of practicing, but wow, I know.
It's nice to get a break sometimes.
I guess.
Sure.
It requires us to take a break. So like you asked what our season is. It's like, well, we go all year because we can.
Because you can, right.
Because we want to. But occasionally it's nice to be like, no, you have to take this break.
Yeah,
And
that's true.
your body kind of needs a break every
Yeah.
once in a while.
I guess. I mean,
guess.
if you're not committed,
Give it
just
a
kidding.
little recovery. Just a little recovery.
And
is
Stevie's
good
calling
for
you
it.
out. Huh?
No, I'm like, no, my body needs a break.
She's like, I hurt my back. Have you no sympathy? Get out there.
I know a massage therapist.
I know.
Oh, I know, right? Actually, we're in the good place for
We
this.
are. It actually functioned quite well afterwards.
Yeah,
I won't lie.
good. Get rid of some pain so you can go cause some pain.
Exactly. Loosen it up a little bit,
That's
and you
right.
can just go get hit a few more times.
Oh, that's so cool.
Made me feel better. Now I'm ready to mess it all over again.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
Repeat.
Yeah, exactly.
So particular kinds of skates you guys use? I know the girl up front has skates, and she's constantly talking to the guy out back, the mechanic, getting the wheels right, getting this right,
So you'll find, some people are very much like, I want to call them gearheads.
Sure,
kind of,
right, yeah.
Right?
Uh-huh.
Other people are like, I don't know, they just,
Whatever.
I put them on, they roll. It's fine. And you get most people I feel are very much in between.
Yeah, right.
But no, our skates are kind of important.
Exactly,
Absolutely.
right.
I mean,
I mean, I have very beautiful custom
Do ya?
skates that, I took about 3 years before I bought custom skates. They're teal and black and white, and they're pretty. Oh, they're so pretty.
they're Rat's favorite colors.
Yes,
So
they're so pretty.
They are pretty. I have seen them a few times.
Yeah. Just,
They match your outfit and everything.
usually they don't match because they're teal and we're black and red. But I'm I don't care.
You're teal. All right.
The skates are kind of, when you customize your skates, you get to kind of just go wild.
Yeah.
So one of our skaters has, I think, every single color on their skates. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Like orange and
Nice.
white and green,
Yeah.
just everything.
They're super cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like
right.
every color on those skates, because they let you customize various portions of them, and you can pick between glitter and leather and suede and all.
Right.
It gets a little overwhelming.
Yeah.
I got my lady from some skates. She was asking for some nice skates, and I got these beautiful red ones. And she went out into the cul-de-sac and fell down, broke her elbow.
Oh my gosh.
It's just like, just came down and landed wrong. It wasn't a hit to the elbow. It was just enough to stress fracture something.
Yeah.
And the elbow pads came in the next day. She just couldn't wait. So
Has she put her
skates went
skates
back in the
back on?
closet for a year.
A year? Oh, she's
Well,
ready.
she's you can't screw yourself up too many times and take a couple months off of work.
It is true. It is
Yeah.
true.
Your people at work are like,
We haven't.
what are you doing,
absolutely.
idiot?
It is true. And that's the other thing too, is that this sport, we do have people who have injured themselves and
Sure.
they have to take a break.
That's the
but
thing.
I know I'm looking at Wrath, who's broken many
Never. Nothing.
but
I've done nothing.
Not at all. Haven't had a what is it, like a whole bolt put into your ankle? Yeah. Yeah.
A couple of
Other than that, a mere flesh wound.
It's just a sacrifice you have to make for the sport.
occasionally.
to the skate gods.
Right.
Here's my ankle. No, we have had
It didn't
people.
take me long to get back though.
Oh, well, and it shouldn't,
Right.
because if you want it bad enough, look you in the eye and see it. But we had somebody like recently, actually, another one of our skaters. She fell and broke her leg, I think, or was her ankle too. And she's now doing some non-skating official stuff and working towards, so we do want people to remain in the community if they do get hurt. But it's natural to get, of course, because you're gripping each other. The whole point is that you have these 4 butts, or not butts, we call them the brace, but we call them butts while we're there. Everyone get your butt there. So there's 4 blockers on the track, and then you have 1 jammer. And so at one point, while you're trying to stop the other team's jammer from coming around, you're gripping your teammates. We have somebody known as the brace, and you literally 2 blockers are pushing against that brace to try to stay up, and they should stay up on their own, but we're there as a brace. You're there for support.
That's why they call me a brace.
Exactly. And you have so many bruises at the end of the day after playing, all these like little fingerprint bruises on your arms.
That's funny.
It's so natural. And we have, there's been so many times where I've gone out with my partner and people are like, so are you okay? And I'm like, what are you talking about? And they're like, you've got a lot of bruises. I did this. This was my choice. Leave him out of it. He doesn't get this. Yeah, you do acquire a lot of bruises.
You do.
In the sport.
I have a giant one on my thigh, and I have no idea where it came from.
Somebody's knee.
Like,
yeah.
I saw it. It doesn't hurt. I just
Really?
looked down and I saw it the other day, and I was like,
Where'd that come
where
from?
did this come from? And I mean, what is that? The size of a
Softball, right?
softball,
Yeah.
easily, maybe a little
Jeez.
bigger. Didn't even know I had it.
That's funny.
Just like, oh, well, hi, Bruce. And it was from practice. It wasn't from the scrimmage. It was from practice.
I feel like we pride ourselves in it. Like when we get like a pretty nasty bruise, I had a pretty bad bruise from a scrimmage we'd had like maybe a couple months ago, and it was on my arm. It was massive. I'd say it was also the size of like a softball.
No, it was bigger than that.
It was so big, and I turned to our rookies and I was like, "This is what you get to look forward to." And I showed them my bruise, and I feel like there's this collective gasp of like, "What happened?" And I was like, "I truly want to tell you, but I just don't know. I don't know how we acquire these. You know, we fall, of course, and people grab you, and you know." If you're wearing an elbow pad, and if an elbow pad hits you in just any right area, that's a pretty thick elbow pad that's like going up against your arm. So I imagine I suspected it was probably from an elbow
Sure.
pad, but
Usually, like, the hits that hurt the most, you get nothing.
right. Yeah.
Like, you're like, oh, that's going to be,
No.
no, that's not going to be a good one.
No.
Nope.
it's
not even-
disappointing.
It is. It's very disappointing when you
really-
fall and you're like,
You know,
that
I
one's gonna
realize
hurt.
I don't even know what the point is.
Oh my gosh, I know.
Is there like a ball? Is there like a...
It's not rugby.
you got blockers and you got somebody behind you. Is there like a scrum? Are you trying to get something around the track or what?
There is a scrum. You're trying to get a person around the track.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
The person is the ball.
Yeah, our jammer. And
Okay.
they have a star, like a cover on their helmet, and it's a star, and that's the jammer.
Okay.
And really the main point of the jammer. So each team is going to have their own jammer, is they need to get around the track and past the 4 blockers as many times within 2 minutes without the jam being called off.
So is the other team trying to go the other way?
No, we're all going. That is an idea, though. Just kidding.
That'd be interesting.
That
Figure
would-
8 track.
If roller derby wasn't already like a chaotic game, I would be like, let's do that for more chaos.
Yeah.
But yeah, we're trying to get our jammer around the track as many times as possible within this 2-minute jam, and that's what we call each. I guess each time we go out is a jam, and they're typically 2 minutes long.
Okay.
Unless the jammer, if they're in the lead, like they've become lead jammer because they've escaped through this pack of people.
Okay.
Not only their 4 blockers, but the other team's 4 blockers, they become lead jammer. And if they become lead jammer, they get the opportunity to call off the jam and say like, oh, nope, I'm ending this before the 2 minutes.
I'm done.
Yeah.
I'm leaving.
I've had enough.
So we have all 10 people on the track at one time.
Okay.
You've got the 4 blockers on each team and the 2 jammers.
Okay.
Yeah.
And you're both going around the same way.
Same way.
Yes.
So you get 20
Everybody's
minutes of
trying to
yours
get
and...
through the same spot.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right.
So you're playing defense and offense at the same time,
Oh, okay.
basically. And
I
you
think
want
I'd have to see it to get the whole gist of it.
yeah.
I wish you could say you
Yeah.
could see it to get it, but I feel like the minute you watch it, you're like, what is happening?
I'm more confused than I was.
Yeah.
It's one of those things they try to simplify it to make it easier for spectators to follow.
Right.
But I feel like any sport, when you first watch it, people are like, I know people who've watched football for years. I mean,
Yeah.
they see it every Thanksgiving. They watch it all year long. They see Monday Night Football, and they still have no idea
Exactly.
what's actually
That's me.
happening.
Right.
To a
Like-
T, I do not understand it. I want to talk,
Like
but
you've seen football, but you're
Right.
like, I have no idea what's happening. So I
Yes.
don't feel like roller derby's that much different.
Right.
And I do think like when you watch it, when you can sit and watch it with other people who know what's happening, that's
Right.
how you learn it really
You can ask
fast.
all the stupid questions.
And yes,
Truly.
but they're not stupid because
Right,
you're
right.
like, what is happening?
What
is
happening?
Why?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, like what just happened. So, and I mean, we're always learning the rules. So, I mean, there are 7 skating officials on the track at a time. So, I mean, it takes 7 skating officials to keep us in line.
Yeah.
Really, to keep it going.
A lot of stuff going on out there.
There's a lot of stuff, and there's a lot. So the points are gathered by passing the other team's blockers.
Okay.
So each pass you have, at most, you can get 4 points.
Okay.
So that's, you have one official is watching the one jammer and one official is watching the other team's jammer.
Okay.
Solely so that they can count how many points they have.
Nice.
So that's,
Yeah.
we've got 2 just doing that. So, and you have to stay within a certain distance of the pack, which is all of the blockers, basically,
Sure,
the biggest
right.
group of blockers. So you've got to have an official watching to make sure that we don't separate too far. Because
Yeah.
if you separate too far, then everybody's out of play and you don't get to keep playing. So you have
Right.
to stop blocking, which is usually the number one question we get is, why did you just stop blocking? Like, you were doing so well.
Yeah.
Why did you stop? It's like, because I was too far away.
Yes.
I had to stop. I wasn't allowed to keep doing it, or I'd
Oh,
go
I
to the
see.
box.
Oh,
So,
okay.
and just like in hockey, you go to the box and you
Sure.
serve your penalty, and
you
your
think about what you
You
did.
think about what you did.
For 30 seconds, you have to sit there.
Go and reflect on yourself, young
Pretty
lady.
much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sit there, make a plan for what you're going to do when you get back out there.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Take a
right.
break. That's always nice. Like,
Yeah.
breathe again.
So it's kind of
yeah.
like a penalty.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
It's a,
Yeah.
yeah. So you go
Exactly.
sit in the box and your team skates without you, and they don't get to put another blocker on for
I
you.
see.
So just, I think hockey works the
Yes.
same way. You
Right.
leave the track and
Right.
yeah.
Yeah.
I've
Power
only
play.
seen hockey like once or twice.
Just once or twice.
Oh, okay.
No, really. I've only seen it like once or twice, and it
Really?
was amazing. I loved hockey.
That's a lot of fun.
It was
wonder
really,
why.
it was a lot. And
Yeah.
I was like, there's so much going on. It is so fast.
Yeah.
I was like, and I went and saw a Sharks game,
Did you? Yeah.
and I just sat there and watched the official skate.
The
And I was
hits.
like, oh my gosh, the official skating is amazing. It's like
Yeah. They're just flying along
They're
and turn around
backwards skating.
backwards. Oh, I'm telling you what.
jumping the puck. And I was like, oh my gosh. I just want to skate like those officials right there.
Yeah. Right. Right.
They're so good.
Yeah. I'm sure they were all hockey players.
Oh,
At one time,
They
you
have
know.
to
At one
be,
point,
right?
You have to
probably.
know
Yeah.
how to
I was like,
officiate.
they're fast backwards,
Yeah.
man.
Right.
I was like, I want them to come teach us how to skate.
Missing teeth,
that
a
fast
scar across his nose. Chances are he was a goalie.
But yeah, so I feel like I personally like to think that derby and hockey are mildly
Yeah.
similar.
Yeah.
Right,
I mean,
right.
we have skates.
Sure.
They
right.
have skates, kind of.
We kind of get into a scrap.
We-
No, I mean, not really. I guess we don't really fight.
We don't fight, but we hit each other.
But we hit each other,
Yeah.
and it's allowed. I guess it's allowed in hockey too. They like look forward to
There's
it.
and there's
Sure.
hits that are allowed. Like, you are allowed to check another player
Yes.
on the wall in hockey.
Oh, right.
Obviously, we don't have a wall in derby, but
No, that would suck. I'm not gonna lie.
I
Yeah.
wouldn't like that.
I would not like that either.
That would not be fun.
Please
Right.
don't pin me against this
Yeah,
wall.
I'd rather just get hit and go flying
Yes,
out. And then
exactly.
Have
Do
to
you get like knocked off of the course?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, yeah. I think
yeah.
I've seen that on TV in the old
Yes.
days.
Yeah. So, like, I mean, you like to hit people off the track because
Sure.
then they have to come in behind you,
Oh, okay.
and also anybody who was in front of you. Let's just add to the confusion of derby.
Right.
So they have to come in behind you. So
Okay.
you get to run back and make.
So there's
them-
like an outside line. Once you cross that,
Yes.
you kind of are out of bounds. And
Yeah, exactly. And you have to
Jump
come in
back in.
behind the person who
I
hit
see.
you. And
Right.
so you, as the person who hit them out, you're wanting to rush back
Right.
because
Yeah.
Because you want to make them work.
Yeah.
Sure.
You're making them go all the way at least, 20 feet back? So
it can be up to 20.
if you have somebody helping you get that far, but you can't, because again, you can't be breaking the pact. So somebody has to be helping.
Yeah.
So I know a confusion, but as somebody who's been hit out, we call it recycling. So when somebody gets recycled very far back on the track, you know, as somebody who's been recycled by Wrath several times, there's definitely some internal screaming as you try to get back on that track without, you know, earning they call it, if you get in front of that person, they call it a cut penalty. And I feel like that's one of the most common penalties is a cut.
Oh, you really have to wait till
Yeah.
the last one goes by to get in again.
To get right back
Or you
behind
have
that
to be
person.
fast.
Yeah, really fast.
Yeah.
And jump behind them as soon as you can.
Yeah.
To get back on the track. Because it is a little bit of like, as a jammer, it wastes your time because you're going so far back and you're
Yeah.
watching the other team's jammer just skate by you, and it's just, you could feel it inside. This game is like, for me, like part like so much fun, part just deep frustration.
Burning it out.
Oh, you get so mad, just not at the other team, but at yourself. Like, how did I let that happen? And but yeah, when in those situations, for sure, it's like you're internally screaming, just, I can't believe this happened.
That's when you just call it, because if you're lead, you can just call it. So, so that happened to somebody on Sunday. We scrimmaged, and I saw her. She got hit out, and she looks and sees how far she has to recycle back. She's like, "Nah, I'm good." And she just calls the jam. She's like, "I'm good." So, and you're like, solid plan.
Right.
Like, you're right.
Yeah.
So,
if you call the jam, you have to tap your hips twice. But,
okay.
But if they're not paying attention, if your ref who's supposed to be following you is not paying attention, you have to like literally throw your hands in the air and tap them as much as possible. You're like, I'm calling off this jam.
I want to be done.
I want to be finished with this.
Or they can't quite see you because you're like in the scrum of people, and you're just like, please, I want to be done. It's exhausting, I will say.
Yeah.
It gets exhausting, but it's super fun, and you get to challenge yourself. I mean,
good cardio.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
At the end of, I feel like every scrimmage, it's just, we're so exhausted, and you can see it. Like, it's constant endurance, If you've ever been stuck behind two women or people, I'm sorry, just people in general, and been pushing against them on skates, there's just nothing like it.
Calves.
It is.
It's everything.
It's everything. You feel it in your gut, your like legs, your butt. You're like literally like clenching as you push against these people, and you hope.
Everything.
Oh my gosh.
And I mean, most of the time you're holding a squat. So I mean, you're pretty much in a low, like not a low squat, but like a mild squat.
Horsey stance or whatever they call it. Yeah.
The entire time you're playing.
Sure. Right.
So, and I mean, it's an hour, so it's 2 30-minute periods.
Core workout.
Running around while skating around in a squat. So, I mean, get a derby butt.
You do. Yeah. You have no choice.
You have no choice.
When you're like that for 2 hours,
Yeah.
But it is so much fun at the same time. And I feel like a lot of our rookies, and I still feel this way. I've been skating for, if I count 2020, it's going on anywhere from 4 to 5 years. But they describe it as being in a washing machine. Mm-hmm. And a lot is going on around you the whole time, and there's a lot of yelling, but it's also very exciting and fun and energetic. And at the end of it, you cannot help but feel like at least mildly accomplished.
Sure.
Oh yeah.
Like you just did that for 2 hours straight, or however long an hour straight of just sheer endurance. And it's such a blast.
And we've had so many people who have never done a sport before come in and play derby.
Sure.
Because we can, like, anybody can play derby.
Yeah.
Like any body type, any size, any shape, anybody can play. There is a spot for every single human being to play. And so many of those people who never played sports was because like, well, I liked this one, but there wasn't a spot for me.
Yeah.
So they come in and play derby, and it's super fun, and just to see people
just take your aggressions out.
Yeah.
That's
or
so
just
fun.
get to play a team sport.
Right.
And they're not just out there doing things by themselves. And they're like, wow, this is so much more fun.
Yeah, exactly.
Or, there's just, it's very fun to see people who haven't played anything come in and play.
Yeah. And when we don't stop people from we don't really put people in like a certain box. Like we don't look at somebody and go, you are the perfect jammer and therefore you will be a jammer. Like if somebody's interested in it and they're like, I want to be this position. I really want to be a jammer. Of course we're going to like push you towards it.
Sure.
But if somebody's like, we're kind of more like, you're doing everything. You're going to learn every single position possible, because realistically it's good for you to just try everything and really gauge where you might want to be ultimately. I know like Wrath for sure has always like considered herself a blocker, but in this past year we've been pushing her to be a jammer.
And I don't hate it anymore.
No. It is a little terrifying because like you're the point
You're
maker.
the one.
Yeah, you're it.
But see, for years I've been saying as a blocker, it's not on you, the jammer, to score the points. It's my job as a blocker to give you time to
It's
work.
true.
Score, right.
So I have to remember that if I ever am jamming and I get frustrated because I'm not getting out. I'm like, well, technically it's because my blockers aren't doing their job, right?
Oh no.
Uh-oh.
If I took the blame as a blocker, I can pass it? No, I don't know.
I don't. I wish you could see my face. I was like, absolutely not. Because there's, where it's as a blocker, of course your focus is like helping your jammer get through the other team's pack, but we're also at the same time.
Your job is to block.
Well, yeah, exactly. We want to help you. We want to give offense and like help our jammer through, of course, because we want that jammer to make the points. But at the same time, we're like so focused on stopping their jammer from getting through that, I hate to do it, but I'd rather just focus on stopping their jammer to get through. And then,
Oh, no. Yeah.
yeah.
But if you're doing that really well, then that gives your own jammer time to
Right.
work and get out.
Yeah.
So, yeah. But we don't push people to be like, you have to do this, like you said. We're
Right.
not like, oh, you're perfect for this. Because some people will be like, oh, I'm a jammer, or I think I'm going to be a jammer, and then they try blocking, and they're like, actually,
Yeah.
that's really fun.
Well, if you do everything, then you're more valuable to the team.
Of course.
Also.
And you're valuable regardless to us. But at the same time, yeah, we're like, no, you have to try everything. And
Sure.
if some people just really detest something, like we're not going to force them. We do have a couple of people who are like, I really just am not comfortable
Right.
jamming, either because of like a past injury or it's just something that they don't really feel like they're quite ready to do.
Right.
That's absolutely fine. Like,
But they're trained in it, so
Right.
they know what you're going through,
exactly.
Yes.
right?
Yes, and
makes
knowing
sense.
what other, like, if you're a blocker and you know what a jammer's mindset is, it makes
Yeah.
you a better blocker because you're like, I would be looking, if I was a jammer, I'd be trying to find that gap.
Yeah.
You're like, as a blocker, going, I'm going to close that gap.
Yeah.
Right.
Right.
So, and we do have a position called a pivot, which takes a stripe cover
On their helmet.
on their helmet, and they can become the jammer.
Oh,
So the
okay.
jammer can take their helmet
cover.
cover off and pass it to the pivot.
Oh, no kidding.
So
Yes.
the pivot then becomes the jammer.
More rules.
More rules.
I know.
Notice how I waited a bit to add this one. I
Yeah.
was like,
Don't stake it all on me at once.
you're ready for this one.
We're going to tell you something else.
Right. Exactly.
At
I
all.
feel like we're just making up rules as we go. We're like,
This
oh,
sport's
and
actually not
also-
real. We've completely made this up. We're comedians. Just kidding.
But so the pivot has to be able to do everything.
Yes.
Right.
So they have to be able to jam and block.
Yeah.
So
And read the mind of their jammer. On top of it, they're watching their jammer, watching them struggle, or maybe just they're in a position in which they can take
yeah.
the star from the jammer and then become the jammer, and it's beneficial to the team in that moment.
Strategically, it makes sense.
Yeah, strategically, it's great.
Yeah.
This game is really a lot of strategy. Have I figured out that strategy yet? Absolutely not. No, I'm still like, where is it? But
Yeah.
once you're out there, some things do start to click
Sure.
way more.
Yeah.
I know. And again, my husband, my partner, he has seen several games. We have watched several of them together. And he's still he's like, this is very much a mystery to me. And I'm like, that's totally fine. It's as long as like you're somewhat entertained. I just know I'm deeply entertained when I'm out there playing. Yeah.
I will say my husband loves watching, and he's always enjoyed watching it,
Yeah.
even when he was kind of like, not really sure what's happening.
What's going on? Is he starting to get it now?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And like
Yeah.
he knew a bunch of sports and stuff. So I've noticed people who know different sports tend
Yeah,
to pick it up a
right,
little bit
right.
faster, but they're still like, I don't know why he's very stuck on, I don't know why they went to the box. Like, I don't know what the penalty was for. I was like, don't worry about it. It's fine. They went to the box. That's all you really need to know. Like,
You're not allowed to argue with like the refs. Like that's the other thing is if you're interested in derby, but you're maybe not interested in like skating roller derby, but we are always in dire need of refs.
Oh,
like
right.
we're thirsty for them. Please come and be our ref. And I've tried to get my husband several times to be a ref, and he is like, absolutely not. I am not getting on skis. But they know all of these penalties, and you're not allowed to argue with them. That's just a big, massive no-no. Like this is all very volunteer. We're not going to make people feel bad for doing something that is absolutely volunteer. But there's been plenty of times where I've sassed a little bit, where I've been like, what? You've got to be kidding me. Then you go into the penalty box and you sit for 30 seconds and you're like, maybe I shouldn't have been so sassy.
Yeah, right.
But this is who I am.
This is who I am.
Yeah.
Well, that's a big part of sports,
Right.
whether I was wrestling or football or sailing, racing, or, it's all intimidation
Oh, yeah.
at the beginning. It's, we're all, hugging each other at the end and, we love each other. But, man, when you're getting ready to race,
Oh, yeah.
So
it's on.
one of my favorite parts of Derby is at the end.
Yeah.
We have our victory lap, quote unquote victory lap. But everybody from the other team and the entire crowd can come around the track, and we do a lap of high fives around the track.
Oh, how cool.
So if you're ever at a Derby bout, you at the end rush to the line. Don't go over the line. Stay out of bounds.
Right.
But yeah, so it's one of my favorite parts, and
That's perfect.
we just get to high five everybody.
Yeah.
It brings everybody into that.
Yeah.
It does, because
Yeah.
we without spectators, really, like what are we're doing this for our health? No, just kidding. I mean, we are a little bit,
Right.
but it does add a small pressure to it. We do want to see people come out and watch us.
Yeah.
This is without them, we couldn't really do any of this.
And why would you?
Right.
Yeah.
It's a little bit of bread and butter is having people come in and pay for tickets to watch us do
Yeah,
it.
exactly.
So, but at the same time, it's also so much more fun, and it really gets people interested. And
Maybe you would do it without a crowd, wouldn't you?
I mean, we do it now. We do it now. We have to scrimmage against each other.
I mean, Sunday we had a great time scrimmaging.
Oh, yeah.
And
Cool.
so we used the Santa Cruz facility.
Oh, did you?
They let
Okay.
us rent it out from them, and we did a scrimmage and for its kind of like wrap up for our break that we're about to take.
right.
It's only like a 4-week break, so I mean it's not a huge deal. It's good.
Yeah.
But it was a good wrap up. And
Yeah.
we didn't have any spectators, but boy did we have fun.
It was so much
That's
fun.
cool.
So
It's just a blast.
yeah, I'm still a little sore.
Oh, yes, likewise. Yeah. I love to show people my bruises. Everybody at work knows that I do this. I
Yeah.
talk about it nonstop.
Sure.
It's just so much a part of who I am now. And I love showing like fresh bruises. I'm like, oh, check this one. Look at this one. What do you
Carnage.
think? Yeah. Yeah, that's right. You want to see what else I can do? So yeah. I mean, the reason I got into roller derby was because I went to a bout, and it was the first home bout I ever saw, and it was Monterey versus, I think it might have been Sonoma. I'm not sure. It was a long time ago. It was like 2017, maybe early 2018. And I watched the whole thing with my husband. And at the very end of it, I was like, you know what? What do you think? You think I can do that? And he's like, nah, you're too prissy. I was like, prissy? So watch this. Now, varsity, our Beast team, it's been such a blast to get there.
Yeah.
He's like,
She's still a little prissy. Let's be real.
Stop.
Well, I think about those teams that I used to watch in the 70s, and there were some pretty big gals.
yes. I mean, prissy is such a harsh term. How dare you?
I'll give you a bruise.
I know. So he was like, it's because you do your nails. Like, I feel like there's a few derby skaters who has acrylic nails. Right. I'm the first person out there with like duct tape over my fingernails.
Is that what you do?
Oh, like I probably won't do this for forever, because when you're bouting, you're such a focus on like your hands. You don't want to break first of all, you don't want to break a finger, but like hitting the floor hurts. And if you chip off like a whole fingernail, it hurts even worse. So
it also hurts to be on the receiving end of a nail.
Catching a fingernail in the eye or something.
In the eye.
Which I've had people put their fingers in my eyes before too. And
I have too.
It's
football, wrestling, like a toink. Oh,
Just
hey,
walking down
I
the
can't
street.
see.
A whole other level of intimacy, by the way. Like,
I mean, Ivana got a finger in her mouth on
Oh,
Sunday.
straight
nice.
fish hook. Oh
A full
no.
fish hook.
Oh no. Anytime, I mean, like, you're literally in this sport rubbing your body against somebody else's body. Like, there's no way around that. Like, you are going to be touching somebody else. So
Right.
they're sweating, you
gonna
are
get
sweating.
physical.
It is, and I think at some point you just get very comfortable with germs.
Sure. Right.
So-
Right.
It's funny because, like, you'll get comfortable in that setting.
Yeah.
I think is a lot of it too, is like in that specific setting, totally fine.
Yeah.
If somebody just like walked up and like stuck their hand in my armpit, I'd be like, what is wrong with you? You know? But when you're playing, somebody's like, oh, I just did that. And you're like, man, I didn't even notice. Didn't even feel it. Like, it was the least of my concerns. in
Yes.
that moment.
Right.
Yeah.
Like,
There's a lot of other things going on here. I'm definitely not paying attention to the fact that you just rubbed your armpit on me. So
had no idea.
yeah. Or you grab a lot of body parts that you don't intend to grab.
Whoops.
Yeah. In fact, we did a scrimmage about maybe a month or two ago back in Santa Cruz. And I grabbed somebody right in the chest. I was like, I am so sorry. She's like, I didn't even notice. And I was like, I think you're my girlfriend now. She's like, oh, exciting.
Exciting.
Just kidding.
Wow.
It was funny.
It
at
was
the
like
time.
that level.
Yeah. Wow.
Well, we're best friends now.
At the
It's
very
happening.
least, it's hard because you start off, being like, we know each other strictly through roller derby, and then things like that happen, and you're like, we have a whole new level of friendship.
Right. We're besties.
Yeah, there's no way that we can get past what just happened.
Yeah. Yeah. I actually heard from a friend whose daughter just started playing derby in like Oklahoma. She's older and she's like, she's learning like found a whole new family of people. I'm like, yep, sure did.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like, she now has a lot of friends.
Right.
Join a league and you get 20 friend requests immediately.
Immediately. Yes. Yeah, that is one thing. You're like, oh, how do I know this person? Oh, it's derby.
Yeah.
Here's like, we have
Yeah.
35 friends, mutual friends.
Yeah.
You're going to be friends with somebody through
Right.
roller
Yeah.
derby.
That's a different kind of friend too when you're that
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
physical and
Yeah. And you
know
just,
each other's dogs and everything else.
oh yeah. Oh yeah. They can watch your dogs while you go on vacation.
Right,
I do
right.
have that. We have,
That's so cool.
I mean,
Like 3 or 4 people I call. Like,
shout out to Furiosa. I could not do it without you. Fury watches our dogs when we go on vacation. I go down south a lot, and so I'm always calling up somebody from the league,
Sure.
but specifically Fury. I'm always like, please watch my dogs.
Please.
I don't want to have to board them.
My dogs love you.
Yes, he just wants snuggles.
That's
So
perfect.
yeah, it does. You are like, people do come through for you. It's just
oh yeah.
and yeah, it's like lasting friendships.
Yeah.
I think I've met most of my best friends through roller derby in the past 4 years. It's
Yeah.
It's more than just a sport. Sometimes it really is the community. I mean, you see these people for 4 hours total because you do 2 hour, 2 practices a week, and if you do scrimmaging, that's an additional 2. So
Yeah.
It's hard to make friends nowadays.
Gosh.
do you want to
People
join
are so
roller derby?
weird.
People are weird. But we
Yeah, they're
like the
weird.
weird though.
Yeah,
Well, I know,
yeah,
but
you want a little
everybody's
bit.
kind of hands off,
Oh
You know,
yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
just kind of weird and they don't want to talk or I don't
Yeah.
know. It's different.
The pandemic has changed
It's
people.
changed people,
I
hasn't
think
it?
I
Oh,
think too,
absolutely.
as like an adult, it gets really hard to meet people.
Yes.
Yeah,
like-
I guess that's what I was talking
Yeah,
about.
like
Yeah.
because you start talking to people in random places and they are like, why are you talking to me? I'm
Mhm.
just getting coffee. What is wrong with you? And it's like, oh, okay. But I
know.
wanted to show you my new shoes. Like, that worked for the kids, right?
I got a killer new bruise, man. You want to check it out? You're like, get away from me, lady.
Exactly.
You know your audience.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But I found it to be, I never have problems finding things to do now.
Right.
Oh, no.
Like-minded people.
There's a lot of times I'm
Yes.
like, I really just need to stay home tonight.
So many times I feel that I've been like, I need a little break from you guys. Like, I see you a lot. I see you sometimes more than I see my own partner.
Sure.
You know, the dogs miss me. Yeah, it's because you do a little bit of you commits to this sport aspect of
But you
it.
do meet some amazingly interesting humans.
Absolutely.
Like we have some very interesting people in Derby in general. I mean, from all over. So
All different walks of life, huh?
yeah. And it's great to just kind of, I mean, I came from a small town, and so it's nice to meet new people who are not just like you.
Yeah.
Like that's great.
It's easy to do here when you come from a small town.
Yeah. Like,
You know.
so it's nice to just expand and learn.
Right.
The Monterey in general tends to have kind of like an overturn of people, you know, through the military and the college.
Sure does.
So you have a lot of people coming and going, and that's ultimately what we do end up having too within the league is, you know, people who join who are from the military background. So they stay with us for as long as they possibly can until they are then stationed somewhere else. Same with students, you know, they can only stay for so long until they either need to transfer to a different school or go back home, or maybe they just have accepted a job elsewhere. And that's, you know, that just tends to be life. So, but we do have so many people from different backgrounds.
Yeah.
Well, it seems like military spouses would be a target for you because they come in here for a year and a half and the wife is trying to find something to do, a part-time job until he gets this language thing out of the way. And, you know,
This language thing.
you know,
we do
Or
get a
whatever
lot
they're
of
doing.
military.
Yeah.
But the great part about them, for them especially, is everywhere they go, there's almost always a league nearby.
Oh, cool.
So whenever they leave, they can generally go somewhere, join another league, have that community of people, and get to keep playing. So yeah. And like I've visited a few different places, and if you go visit somewhere for an extended amount of time and it's practice season, you tend to take your gear with you and
Right.
contact the local
There you
league
go.
and say, hey, I'm going to be in
Right.
town. Can I come to practice?
Sure.
And I've never had a team say no. Like,
Of course not.
they're like, yeah, of course you can come
Sister,
hang out. Right.
Come on.
So, and everywhere it's been very similar environment of people, and you're like, all right,
Yeah.
these are my people. So
I mean, when you're doing something so deeply unique as roller derby, you would hope that there's going to be this like kind of collective, like, of course, you know, please come hang. We want it too, though. You know, we also want people who are like traveling or just know that they're going to be in the area for a brief period of time to come skate with us. We love it.
we've had several who are here on vacation.
Oh, no
They're-
kidding.
Yeah.
and they're just like, hey, I'm going to be in town.
Right on.
And I'm like, absolutely, come to practice. Give us a rough estimate of your level,
Sure.
and we'll tell you which practice will be best for you. And
Right.
I mean, one person came to visit, and they happened to come to a practice that we were having a guest coach come in from like one of the top 5 teams. And we were like, go ahead.
Sure, yeah.
You're in town. Go for it.
Yeah.
We don't care. And she was like, oh okay. So
we've had a lot of interesting guest coaches come and hang with us and teach us some stuff. We've had folks from Scotland. We have folks from Australia, and you know, it's just Texas. We've had
Washington.
what? Yeah.
It is worldwide, huh?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
There's teams I know there's teams in Brazil, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sure.
I know there's a team in Japan.
Mm-hmm. They're everywhere.
Yeah. All over.
Wow.
They're everywhere.
Yeah. Yeah.
How
Teams
cool.
everywhere. Yeah.
How fun.
Yeah.
So what else you got going on?
What else do we have going on?
I don't know. We're going to trail skate this week.
Trail skate.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Trails. Monterey. Where's that? Where are you going to start from?
So
At the railroads?
we actually like to start. I don't want to give away our secrets.
Well, just in case somebody wants to come out and skate with you.
So we have a spot that we like to start because it's easy parking.
Oh, I
Yeah.
see. Don't want to wreck that.
We don't want to wreck the parking. And it's secret parking because it's one of those that it's always good, even on the weekends when the
Sure.
wharf gets packed.
Yeah.
If you park, you can, so it's close enough that you can walk. We'll be at the wharf.
Well, if you see a bunch of roller skaters going down the...
Yes.
And there's something, I don't know what it is, but there's something about us that if you see us on the trail, you immediately know we're roller derby.
Because you try to
Always.
knock them off the track.
We really don't know.
No,
I don't know what it is, but
somebody
I
always asks.
always, and I'll have zero derby
Gear, right?
like affiliations
Affiliations.
anywhere. And they'll come up and be like, "Oh, you play derby," and I'm like,
Yep.
"How did you know?"
It's tattooed on our necks.
Somebody like cut across my forehead. I don't know. Somebody's like, "It's the skates," and I'm like,
No, because I know that like we talked about skates earlier, but like all of us, I feel like all of us at least, have our roller derby skates specifically for roller derby performance. And then we have our outdoor skates, which are like these very like, I'd say more cute, maybe like they've been mine are cute.
My outdoor skates are my.
No, yours are ugly.
I was like, no, she doesn't like
Wow.
it. They're
Hers are bright
yellow.
yellow.
Yeah, they're bright yellow, but
No, mine are my old derby skates.
Oh, well, that's probably why you give it away.
It's my fault.
Come
Yeah,
on.
way to go.
I got the like sporty looking skates is what it is.
But yeah, I think a lot of people go out and they have like kind of these like, I feel like cuter skates on when they're doing the rec trail, except Wrath.
Yeah.
We're not going to look at Wrath. We're going to exclude her from that. But but yeah, people do say, if they don't say, oh, you must play roller derby, they say, there goes a roller skater. Always without fail. Oh, a roller skater. And I was like, yeah. And it's me.
Old school.
Look at me. And then I fall.
I was like, oh. I did that one. Like I fell right in front of a group of people.
It just really knocks you down a whole
And they were
peg.
like, "Are you okay?" As I hop right back up, I'm like, "Yeah, I'm fine.
Brr.
Of course.
I have knee pads on. It's fine."
We might also be doing, aside from trail skating, which we're going to try to do a lot during our break. So if you start at the wharf or even follow us on Instagram, you can see when we're going to be doing a trail skate. But we're going to try to do, I think, a couple of outings. I think we're going to try to make an appearance. Can I say where we're going to make an appearance?
I don't care. I'm not on the board.
It's true. I should know this. I'm the secretary.
This is skinny.
I know that we're going to try to make it to, we're still waiting on a couple of approvals from these places. So don't hold us, accountable for it until we are posting it on our Instagram or our Facebook. But I know we're going to try to do, Other Brother Brewery does an outdoor market, and it's extremely fun. We'll probably be out there trying to give away some old merchandise. We've regrouped and we've redone our logo in the past few years. So we have some stuff that we want to give away to people. Some older, we call it our
Legacy, vintage or legacy.
or legacy.
That's how you get them out there.
That's
Yeah.
right.
Free giveaways.
People want vintage
That
stuff.
Heck
even if we're not there, that's a cool market. So
Yeah. It
Vintage roller derby stuff. I mean,
Yeah, with our
how does
old.
it get any better than that?
It's neat stuff. too.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I think it is.
Of
But
course.
and then we also might try to make an appearance in a couple of parades. So Monterey is going to have its 4th of July parade. We are still working on that. So that could potentially, of course, change. So we're going to try to skate in that and do a couple of maybe tricks there. We might do a couple whips. That's something we like to do. And on our skates with a banner. And then Pride, of course, we're pretty big and friendly in the LGBTQ community. That's
Right on.
something for roller derby. So we will also be in Pride, the Pride Parade. So these are things that could, of course, change. We don't know. We just have to get applications in. But those are kind of like the big appearances that we intend to make pretty soon, is being out in the spotlight, out in Monterey community in general.
That's the ticket.
Yeah. Yeah. And I mean, if people see us and they want to talk to us and they want to talk about roller derby, clearly how long have we been here?
a while.
Over an hour.
Yeah, we just killed talking, like 2 hours of talking about roller derby. So we clearly like to talk about it. So
Sure.
you can catch one of us and we'd be happy to go over any details.
I mean, we didn't even tell you like legal hitting zones.
I know.
Target, like we didn't.
We could really start on that.
We-
So after this, if you want to talk, we're going to get the computer going. We're going to look at
That's right.
some strategies.
Let's do some footage review.
Yes. Yes.
Replays.
So many. You ready to be a medic? We're looking for medics. Just
Always.
Yeah, always medics.
Oh my gosh.
Every bout we have to have medics.
Yes.
Like it's
Of
part of
course.
our rules. You have to have a medic.
Yep.
Yeah. Luckily we've had Dr. Gerbino has always been one of our
Oh, please.
biggest supporters.
Comes out and keeps an eye on you.
He's like, my business.
So yeah, he's always been great to us.
Yeah.
So cool.
Yeah, but we always need medics. I think we need like 2 at least at about. So.
Yeah.
So if one is attending to somebody, the other one can,
I see, right.
can watch
Sure.
and we can keep playing rather than waiting.
Yeah.
So.
Yes.
Trainers, you got people that tape you up, or you just do all that yourself.
A little bit of both.
Yeah.
If somebody's there to help you learn how to tape up yourself, then hopefully when you go home the next day, take a shower, you can retape yourself in the same exact way.
You never can.
No, it's never as tight. It's never as perfect.
Right.
It always looks like some makeshift like mummy costume. You got this like gauze wrapped around you, and they're like, "What happened?" I'm just practicing for my Halloween costume. Yeah, unless you're like out there with like a genuine like you've broken your leg and you have a full cast on or a boot on. It's hard to sometimes see your injuries because they're like these giant bruises and your little owies and stuff like that.
Or they're the ones you just don't see.
Or it's like a concussion. You're walking around with like
fog brain.
Yeah.
You see your eyes pointing 2 different directions. Maybe get her off the course. Trauma.
I have fallen. I have hit my head before too.
I'm sure.
They're like, now you have to sit for 3 different jams. You can't go out and play. And you're like, that's fair. Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah, but you're right.
Yeah, I will fight you on
Yeah,
this.
exactly.
Yeah.
The old melon's still a little.
It's like a bouncing ball around in there. I gotta be waiting for it to settle.
That's just my 17 brain cells that are left.
They're fine. They're fine.
They're fine.
There's 10 left.
Well, awesome. Sure appreciate you guys coming in today.
Yeah.
So tell me again now, they can get a hold of you if they want to jump into this on Instagram.
Yeah, so you can of course email us. If you Google us, you can Google just Monterey Bay Roller Derby and we'll come right on up.
Or montereybayrollerderby.org.
And then if you go to and you might get even the secretary if you go to secretary at montereybayrollerderby.org.
Oh.
But our Monterey Roller Derby Instagram name, our handle is MB, so Monterey Bay Roller Derby. So you can find us there. And you can find us on Facebook at Monterey Bay Roller Derby also.
Easy as that.
Easy as that.
Yeah.
Come down and see us and check them out. Sign up.
Hang out. We'd love to have people.
Be an official.
Or, skating or non-skating.
Right.
Yeah. EMTs, come on out. Be that.
And skate with us.
And
everybody.
Skate.
Yeah.
Everybody.
We really want everyone. So
Perfect. Anything else?
no. If anybody has any idea where we can call place a home.
Oh, right.
Where we are, that is kind of our biggest goal is always looking for a place where we can put skates down and scrimmage. And again,
we just need flat space and we have the tape. And it's, just blue painter's tape. So it doesn't leave a mark.
We'll pick it up afterwards.
Yeah.
We just need some rich guy to go out and buy that.
Oh,
Marina, what was it?
Marina Water City.
Water City.
Yeah. Oh, I know. It's owned by the city.
Yeah. Oh, is it?
But it's our plead with Marina, as a Marina resident, I would love to see it remain.
That's right.
A skating
And
rink.
it should.
Yeah, as it should. Keep it the way it is.
Yeah.
It's the only one in the next closest one that's a roller rink really big enough for hockey or derby is in San Jose. If you go
That's
north,
just too far away.
and south is San Luis Obispo, but that's outdoor.
Right,
So-
right. Got to get something right here in our neighborhood.
Yeah, keep it in Monterey. Keep a roller rink in Monterey County. Something for people to skate on. It's not like it's a dying sport. People still want to skate regardless if it's roller derby or roller hockey or just being on skates in general. People like to do it.
And open skate is a very inexpensive, fun thing for the entire family to do and spend hours doing. So
it's a good investment too.
Why not?
A place like that.
Yeah.
Well, awesome, guys.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Gonna bring you guys back next year, and once you're rocking and rolling, once we get you a new home,
That's right.
I'll have you back and check up on what's going on.
Sounds
Thank
good.
you so much.
All right. I'll talk to you soon.
Bye.